Mabuhay Manila, this is Jacob yet again with another review of another Oppo Reno 7 series, which is the Reno 7Z 5G. I hope you could join me today and check out if this smartphone can beat expectations and defy all odds. The Oppo Reno 7Z is one of the newest variants that Oppo released this month of March for its mid-range offering. As of today, we got a hold of a unit and got the Cosmic Black. It also offers another colorway called Rainbow Spectrum. Setting it aside, the Reno 7Z composition of aluminum and plastic makes it more simple and minimalistic. The deep bold black gives it a strong matte finish and looks good with a glittery effect, also because the camera module is protruded and its platform is flat. No wonder Oppo made the base platform for the camera flat because it has a dual orbit lights that serve as a notification light and it stays illuminated while charging. It is a smart move from Oppo to put in small details to the form and function it has. In addition to that, the rectangular flat base where the camera module is sitting has a nice glossy finish that stands out from the rest of the back design. The device weighs about 173 grams and has a thickness of 7.49mm, which has the same weight and thickness as the vanilla version. Moving at the front, the display is reinforced with a combination of acrylic glass and polycarbonate. We thought that Oppo will be using Gorilla Glass 5 for its display, but they decided not to because this is a lower budget Reno 7, so it makes sense. It has a 6.43 inches OLED Full HD Plus with a 90.8% screen ratio and a 60Hz refresh rate. The brightness also ranges from 430 to 600 nits and a punch hole that serves as a selfie camera on the upper left of the screen. Also, you don't have to worry about getting wrecked by splashes of water from any direction as it is IPX4 water resistant certified, so a few drops won't hurt. In terms of biometrics, the device also has an on-screen fingerprint sensor for security. There is also facial recognition for a more secure lock screen and privacy. For the interface, it has two microphones located at the top and bottom part of the phone sidings. Moving to specs, the Oppo Reno 7Z 5G is running on ColorOS 12 based on Android 11, and it is also packed with Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 for its CPU, plus having 8GB of memory and 128GB of UFS 2.2 for storage. It also has a 4500 mAh of battery and is paired with a 33W Super VOOC charger. Let's find out what Reno 7Z is capable of in terms of gaming. Starting it off with Mobile Legends. By default, settings are already maxed out, refresh rate set to high, and graphics quality to ultra. We did not encounter any issues while playing the game. Everything was smooth and we had around 58 to 60 FPS. This is a good start for the phone as the game doesn't require a high-end spec for it to run smoothly. Next on our list is PUBG Mobile. We use smooth graphics with ultra frame rate settings since PUBG only allows up to 40 FPS for ultra and extreme settings for frame rate is not available. Our FPS were playing around 35 to 40, but we had minimal lags while playing the game. The graphics are still decent and the details are still there, even though the graphics quality was compromised on the smooth mode. We're not quite sure why PUBG won't let us use the extreme frame rate. No wonder the FPS still drops to 35 from time to time. Lastly, the spec-demanding game, Genshin Impact. All settings were set to low, turned the FPS settings to 60, and turned off the bloom and viewing of far objects. While outside combat, our FPS is ranging 26 to 39 FPS, and in combat, we had around 24 to 34 FPS. The graphic quality is already poor and the gaming experience is quite tolerable. But also in a PS4, you could only attain around 30 to 40 FPS, which means it is decent for a smartphone to run the game. There were lugs and stutters along the way, especially on water, but all in all it was playable. And we wouldn't have a hard time playing it since the FPS are playing around 30 since it is what we expected from this smartphone. Speaking of battery, it is quite decent and typical for having 4500 mAh, wherein most of the mid-range smartphones today also have this as the new norm. However, the 33W Super VOOC charger does compensate for the people who are looking for a phone that charges fast. The Oppo Reno 7Z 5G has decent optimizations of battery management, as our device lasted for 6 hours and 12 minutes while using it on gaming and benchmarks. We also juiced up the battery from 0 to 100% in 81 minutes, which means the Oppo's advertised charging time of 63 minutes is not accurate. For the camera, it is equipped with 3 camera lenses, which consist of a 64-megapixel f1.7 and 2-megapixel f2.4 camera for macro and depth. As for the selfie camera, it has 16-megapixel f2.4. We were eager to test the 64-megapixel main camera, and the results are astounding. The colors are true to life and deep details can be seen. Also, the depth lens is really great for close-up. We tried to shoot the Oppo Reno 7 5G with some backdrops. The results are vibrant just with the right angle plus a decent composition. Portrait also works great on noisy backgrounds, especially when you have a single subject. The AI decently blurred out the background that needs to be blurred, which is great. Colors pop off and the in-depth view is creamy with the bokeh flares. We were amazed by the AI as it blurred out most of the background and leaves the subject that we have, which is the small plant. As for the selfie, capturing a subject with green leafy background leaves an impression as it gives details on the background. The image looks sharp and the saturation is decent. The color separation is no problem for the selfie camera, and capturing moments with someone would definitely be great. Moving to macro, it has a typical output just like the other brands in the market that we got a hold of. The details are quite decent but actually hard to use when you have shaky hands. Although the macro works best if you're showcasing some texture or something you can see with your naked eye. On night modes, the normal photos look very dark as it does not give details at all. However, the night mode feature helps in terms of details popping off and some colors are introduced as well. The night mode is really helpful if you want to boost the extra details when shooting in the dark. Although it is not as sharp and bright as you expected it to be, you see, the details were only minimally enhanced and it got some discoloration. With that being said, Oppo Reno 7Z's night mode is not one of its strong points. Oppo also has a lot of great stock filters for the camera, and you can put it to use so that you can infuse your photo with some mood and tone. Take note that turning on the AI scene enhancement at the utmost part of the screen in the middle will make your photos really pop in terms of color. For video recordings, we tried using the 1080p at 30 FPS. Nothing new actually, and it is what it is. Great tool for documenting moments and capturing priceless events in life. Plus, the idle time of the Oppo is around 0.5 to 1 second when capturing photos. This is great for capturing spontaneous moments. Take note that for music and binge watch, the only speaker that works is the bottom part. And the speaker above is only for phone calls. But then again, the sounds are on point and even on max volume, the sound didn't distort. The quality is still preserved on max volume and on lower volume. The Oppo Reno 7Z 5G is not a pretty solid smartphone in proportion to its price point. It is retailed at $19,999, and to be honest, there are better options in the market with better specs and the same camera quality. Also, a 60Hz screen is not ideal anymore since most of the consumers today are gamers, and they could have opted for a higher screen refresh rate. Nevertheless, the Oppo Reno 7Z 5G, design-wise, looks great. What do you guys think about this device? Let us know in the comment section below, and thank you guys for watching, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you will be updated with our future contents. Also, don't forget to visit manilashaker.com for more tech news, reviews, and comparison of the latest device. Once again, this is Jacob, and mabuhay Manila!